Yes, it's literally my favorite song I've ever done with Josh. Rocky Josh. All right, everyone. Show's starting. Hold on to your hats and glasses. This here will be the wildest ride in the West. Oh, okay.
How sexy we look right there, right?
We do. We look great. All boxed out and cut up. Everyone, welcome to Tavern Talk. That's right. This is the full spoiler talk show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and joining me as always is Jansen, Beth Domon, and brother Dan. We are the Tavern Talk crew. Tom is sadly not able to join us, but he is here in our thoughts. Ladies and germs, we have a great show for you tonight. We're continuing our discussion of Fourth Age speculation. We're going to establish some facts, and then we're going to speculate. We're talking about the Emond's Field 5 and all things Emond's Field and Manetheren. We're talking about what the Fourth Age will be like for these, all of them. I'm including Egwin. Let's just the cat's out of the bag. We're talking Egwin still.
No spoilers.
Full spoilers. Full, absolute. Let's get that up. But we have a guest. It is not the guest I announced last week. She will be joining us.
The description lied. We'll change the description.
All right. Delusions of Greandal will join us next week, but we are proud and happy to bring out for you Mary Frenzy, a long time guest.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
There we go.
How you doing? Love another OG Wheel of Time book person.
How's it going, everyone?
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, well, thank you for the invitation.
I'm so happy you are on this screen right now, Mary.
So good to see you, Brother Dan.
You have been a guest of ours several times, but we have new viewers each and every day, I hope. So why don't we let them know exactly what your background is in the Wheel of Time? It is, we're talking Fourth Age. You're Second Age.
And I feel the age every day, let me tell you.
So tell us about your background.
Yeah, I started reading Wheel of Time back in 1991 and have got into the online Wheel of Time community in 1998 at Theoryland. Was one of the first folks to hang out at Theoryland. Lately, I just hang out at the Dusty Wheel and at Twitter of Time and Tumblr and anywhere else that I can talk Wheel of Time because it's my favorite book series. I love theorizing about it. I love critiquing it. I love trying to figure out what's going on. I love arguing with people about it. And so I'm down.
I like to think that we're kind of at times a live interactive Theoryland where we can, this is the discussions that were on the boards were, for the most part, pretty, polite and weren't too contentious. Some people got a little aggressive, but I think but people were able to discuss their theories. And I think that YouTube really, or at least like our shows like us, allow these sort of things that have been happening for years and years and years. I mean, you said 98. I mean, let me do the math. That's like 80 years ago. So
many eons.
Yeah. Literally two separate millennia. So,
and we're still talking about this book, and we still have theories that come up, Mm-hmm. So I think it's a testament to the writing. I think it's a testament to the series, and I think it's a testament to our passion itself for not letting this just die. We're keeping it alive.
Absolutely.
So with that said, keeping it alive, we're talking about the future past book 14. We're talking about what occurs with our main heroes, the people from the Two Rivers, our cats with the straw in their hair, our wool heads, our
lubies,
ears, people. We're talking about the Emond.
You always add that D in there, Dan.
D happens because of my accent. Emond. Emond. I got Emond's Field.
Emond.
And we're going to talk about Rand and the rest. So, Jansen, this is your beautiful baby concept. Let's why don't you go ahead and lead us through this?
So we're going into the fourth age. So for everyone out there who knows about this, we know that we're going into the time after the last battle. The Dark One has failed, and Rand has sealed him up and has died and jumped into a new body. That I start with that because I want to know, do you think Rand will ever go back to Emond's Field in the fourth? See, I don't think he will either.
Mm-mm.
But just because I think it doesn't mean it's absolutely true. Because there is somebody who is there,
Tam,
or to Rand, that may be on the planet still, and that's Tam.
Rain, even if you're only here for a minute, we are so glad you're here, and please pop in anytime. We love you. Thank you. All right.
So what I'm thinking about is that Tam Althor is going to be a very, very high-figured person in Emond's Field of the Fourth Age. He's actually going to be a lord, and people are going to look to him like they always have for leadership, for advice on how things should be. Because before the last battle in the Third Age, we understood that Tam was part of the men's circle. He was part of the, he was one of the top people in Emond's Field. But now Emond's Field is a lot different than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Emond's Field is a place of commerce now. Big commerce, not just tobacco and wool, but rug making from almost plain wood cabinet making, some of the finest that Fail had ever seen. We have goldsmiths now. We have silversmiths now. And we have more than just one blacksmith.
they have like a military industrial complex all to themselves.
They have everything. And, you got to believe that there's going to be, it's not, in fact, Emond's Field is not a village anymore. And I don't even think it's a town anymore. I think it's a small city. I think that many people have come to Emond's Field by now.
Well,
you mean fourth age? You mean like after? Okay.
Well, let's stay with Tam Althor then. Beth and Frenzy, do you think that Tam is this the environs that will work for Tam? Do you think he will stay in Two Rivers, or will he kind of gravitate more towards where Rand may be, perhaps, or go somewhere else?
Frenzy, you want to go first?
Well, I'm trying to justify that with everything that we know of Rand and Tam, and that they're both war veterans. Both have experienced the trauma of war. Tam twice, Rand at the heart of everything. And they're probably, and I picked this up from Michael Livingston's book, and something that Jordan was trying to weave into this from his own experiences. They just want peace. They don't want the struggles of the world. They don't want the fights, but they don't want those to happen again. Tam has always been this kind of, moral character, this, not preachy, but, he lives a good life. He lives an honest life of caring for his fellow Emond's Fielders, of raising a family, of tending his flock. And he's on the village council, like you said, Jansen. So he's viewed as a person worthy of respect, has good ideas, wisdom and whatnot. So would he stay in an area that is growing? I think he would if he felt that he had a place there. And if he didn't, I don't know if he would leave. I mean, he is Two Rivers folk, and they typically don't leave. Or if they do, they come back. So I don't know, would he, just go deeper into the mountains? He was already pretty deep into the mountains anyway. Maybe he could just, he has his mountain retreat and he goes down to town when he needs to. And when he's done with people, he just goes back home.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, I assume that they rebuilt the farm and such, but Ryan has a theory that Tam went back to the Two Rivers solely to protect Rand because it was one of the most remote areas that the Dark One couldn't find it. And so now that this is done, I'm wondering if he would stay. If he would, what do you think, Beth?
I think he absolutely would stay. That is his home. I don't think he would willingly take on a mantle of any kind of authority other than just being an elder statesman. I think very much the role that he had in a smaller way with kind of being a voice of reason on the village council. I don't picture him like wanting to step into lordship, or he's a humble man who just wants to live a quiet life, and he'll do what he has to do, but I don't think he has to become somebody who has a title of leadership. I think he'll take on leadership roles, like I said, like an elder statesman kind of thing, but I don't think he would willingly take on, that's just not who he is. He's not seeking any of that stuff. That's just the way I see Tam.
So I'm picturing like Matthew McConaughey. It's kind of like
kind of like Matthew McConaughey,
hey.
or like how somebody who previously had power who voluntarily steps away from it is, like Barack Obama or any former president who kind of just stays out of the fray now and just kind of like gives their thoughts on general consensus. Well, I mean, and I think if he was asked to, then he would, because that's the kind of person he is.
What if Matt asked him to join him? Would he
Matt
go?
Or Perrin?
Matt?
No, Matt. He wouldn't go with Matt.
To Shan?
Yes.
No.
He wouldn't?
He wouldn't.
Why would he ask him to, though?
Because.
Let's go sow your wild oats.
Yeah, so I was wondering if he would go with Matt. I mean, as a general type.
So let's go with facts. What actually is happening that we know of? Not speculation, because all of our viewers are going to have those speculations, because none of us can be right or wrong about this. But what are we right about, and what are the facts? Where is Tam right now? At the very at the end of the last battle.
He's at Rand's funeral pyre at the very end of the last battle at the epilogue.
And he goes by the title of Lord Althor.
But that doesn't mean that he's going to take that mantle up willingly when he gets home. He has that because it was bestowed upon him in a time of battle, and that is not the life he wants to lead.
Totally,
he was scarred by the battles.
Is that as of right now, what we know is that he is Lord Althor. Because that's what Perrin gave him.
No, yeah, guys, it's every day he's going to be like, it's not Lord. And they'll be like, Lord Tam. He's like, it's not Lord. I'm no Lord.
I'm no bloody Lord.
I'm no bloody Lord.
And one of the things that we see about Tam, like facts that we know about Tam, is that
Did he get the title Lord, though, or did he get placed second in command of the general of the armies? I don't know if he was called a lord. I think he was given battle command over the armies when Perrin was going to go in to tell Aaron Riyadh to fight Slayer.
I quote Perrin right now. Everyone, you accept my leadership. Then, yes, Lord, I thought that has been established already. Then I named Tam Althor a lord. He is my second, and in my stead, he will be the Lord of the Two Rivers. That's what.
Okay. I don't remember verbatim, but I just don't. I think that it's something that he's going to walk away from when.
Yeah, no, Beth. To your point, like he says, "In my stead, he's Lord." He comes back.
No, bloody Lord, I'm a meat popsicle.
Yeah. Right?
I just don't see Tam. If it's going to be a name only. Tam is not going to be.
If he was named a lord in front of Galen and all of the other lords and people in charge, even if Tam denounces that, none of them would.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's a
So-
theme
so-
here of people who are placed in positions of power that don't want it, which
Yes.
in my mind makes a good leader.
It's
But
the best leader, right?
but we've got Tam, we've got Cadswain, we've got Perrin, we've got, all of them in positions of power and they don't want to be. And so the question then becomes, do they do it or do they run? And I don't think any of them would run from it.
Yeah.
Point is that every single person that we rooted for through all of these books are in a position that most of us wouldn't want them in because they wouldn't be able to go through the journey that got them where they are. So I don't think
with the Schadenfreude we all felt reading these books.
I didn't anybody thought of where they actually, because just going by the facts of where they are from what the book said, where they ended up, I was disappointed in thinking about them in that way. You know what I mean? I was like thinking of Matt as the Prince of the Raven and this person who has all this power married to the Shanshan Empress. I like thinking of him that way. I like thinking of Matt as the gambler.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yeah.
I love that guy. And then I like thinking of Kieran as the guy in the woods who has this awesome wife but can talk to wolves and is like a woodsman. And I don't like thinking of him as the king of Saldea.
No, anything.
He's
No.
not going to be the king of Saldea. We already
But
had
we
this
don't-
conversation last week. Fael's going to abdicate that throne, if there even is a Saldea left after the last battle, to be honest with you, because the Borderlands were absolutely...
She totally won't. She
So
totally won't.
hard.
Yeah, she totally won't. Mary, do you think? What? All right, let's get Mary's opinion. What will occur with Fael and Perrin after all this?
Frenzy, remember, Fael has a younger brother who survived the last battle. Just remember that.
I'm sorry, the Lord of Manethra.
All right, and Frenzy, before you answer, why should we trust anything you say? You're a chosen Forsaken.
I am a chosen Forsaken. Looking at things, politically, we've had this major upheaval. The last time something like this happened was the fall of Arthur Hartwing's empire, and the nations that came about after that were carved out by people that wanted them. Some of them were returning to what they were before Hawkwing or just modified from that. Others were just kind of brand new because somebody stepped up and made it happen. Will Fael do that in Saldea? She's given no indication that she wants to, but she understands the obligations of the nobility. She may just say, okay, I'm doing this here in the Two Rivers. That's where I'm needed. Somebody else will step up in Saldea. But Saldea has, is there a need for a strength in the Borderlands right now with the defeat of the Dark One? There's not that pressing, we have to hold the line mentality. But I don't think that's going to go away. That's been ingrained into everybody that lives up there for the last 3,500 years. So, but will there be somebody else that steps up? Yeah. We don't know who. It could be the younger brother. It could be somebody else entirely. That whole culture up there is based on a military model. And if the general falls, somebody else will step up and take charge. Now, there's no guarantee that person's going to be any good at it, but that's what they're prepared to do.
But Frenzy, are you considering that traveling, it will be a everyday thing for these people now? I mean, I'm picturing Fael's taking her kids to Saldea to school every day and staying there, being there until 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and then going home like a 9-to-5 job, but she's running Saldea. I mean, I don't see her wanting to cede anything that her kids could have. This is her birthright. I don't think she's gonna advocate shit.
She ran away from it. She ran away from it to become a hunter of the horn.
But now she has grown. I do not see her abdicating anything.
Traveling is a very good point, Brother Dan, because there's really nothing between Emond's Field, the Two Rivers, and Saldea but a bunch of unclaimed land. So you could make a connection. It would be a very large geographic nation, but traveling is an interesting variable, but it is limited to whoever has access to an Aes Sedai or an Ashaman. And, there's a lot of them. They're a small percentage of the population.
Frenzy, we talked about them developing just like bus stations where there's just like tunnel
alien
portals, just tied off weaves where you can just like go anywhere you want, and wherever
that would be wonderful.
So
or scary, or both.
Yeah,
there's a POV in Towers of Midnight where Fael talks to herself, and she scolds herself for leaving.
Leaving Chaldea.
She says that she looks back and she sees a spoiled brat who left home and duty to follow an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she found Perrin and everything turned out okay, that didn't make up for her being a spoiled brat and running out on her duty. Mm-hmm. I am with you. I don't think, especially with Barrelane in the world, I don't think Fael would abdicate the throne.
Yeah.
Would she advocate, or would? Yeah, I don't think she could just pretend to be dead. Not with her position of prominence in the Two Rivers.
And when I started this series, I didn't want to rewrite the Wheel of Time or even write anything new. I just wanted to give the facts of what's now, and I like what we're doing because all of us have different ideas of what might be happening. And let's face it, if a book ever was written, we would all be shocked because none of it would be what we thought.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hey, this is a great question, actually. Talking about traveling, could they reopen the ways? Why wouldn't they? Aren't the ways like lush and verdant?
No.
Well, there's a lot of Hasways cleanup that needs to take care of there, but that's just effort.
Infrastructure, a whole lot of bridge repair. You know how much Caltrans that takes, Ryan? It's going to shut down major arteries in the ways while we repair that bridge. It's all pocked.
And no one knows how far the rays go, right?
Right.
But there are a bunch of different theories on what actually happened to it. There's Moraine's theory that Parasite, it was just a parasite that happened with Machin Shin. Then there's Viren's theory that it got tainted because of it was used by Saidin. The men used Saidin to make it.
Right.
And so I don't know. No one really knows truly what happened to the ways, but they could possibly be cleansed, maybe.
Just need some industrial strength flea powder.
I mean, maybe Nynaeve figure it out.
Guys, by the way, this is way off track, but imagine what it took to create the ways. Whoa, like you're creating this out of weaves and stuff. Whoa.
A little pocket dimension.
Jeez.
Could the ways have been made not being next to aesthetic?
I would think so. I
would think so as well. They were just hanging out settings.
It was a gift to the Ogier for shielding the last male Aes Sedai, to give them a means of traveling between their steading. So they were grown wherever they wanted, so you could put it wherever you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But still, that's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to think about. I don't know. You think about Hoover Dam, you're like, how'd they do that? That's the ways for me. How'd they do that? The ways is my Hoover Dam. Do you guys think that Tamal Thor will marry before he perishes?
I know that a lot of you guys don't. I know Beth doesn't think so. I do, only because I think that the women of the Two Rivers will find a way to get him married.
Mm-hmm.
I say yes because he has no reason to hide anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
having like a little like a little 12-year-old stepchild that he kind of mentors and shit.
I think he will have sleepovers.
Oh, gross.
Yes.
But I don't necessarily think he's going to get remarried.
He's just going to be notching his bedpost.
Has to be the right person.
I would have sleepovers with Tam Althor. I'm just saying. Man, totally.
Ew.
I mean, yeah, it's Tam Althor.
Yeah.
We arguably owe the winning of the last battle of Tam.
Mary, did you have an opinion?
Yeah, no, somebody's gonna want exactly just like you said, Beth. Somebody's gonna want Tam Althor.
Right.
It's just
they all want him. That was clear in the first book.
Got to find the right person.
Yeah.
And clearly that person is me. I mean, clearly, if I was written into the Wheel of Time universe, then yes, I would be the person to woo Tam
being on a
Althor.
remote farm, just
just training him
in a river and shit, and then making it like having tea just on a stove. Did you put wood underneath to burn and stuff?
Hey, I watch those bushcraft videos on TikTok that show people like cooking over an open fire. Like I could learn how to do it. I would learn how to do it for Tam Althor.
Beth could shear a sheep in 2 minutes flat.
Yes, I could. I could.
Anything I don't think Beth can't do.
Yeah, I think
Tam would be great on that show, Naked and Afraid.
Oh, you just bumped Beth up a notch, Ryan.
There would be no fear. There might be naked. There would definitely be Beth, but there would be no fear.
So we
let's move on.
Yeah. We see that Manetheren is growing to perhaps a small city, if not a large town. It has walls. It has battlements. It has defenses now. It has all kinds of artisans and potential trade, but it is somewhat remote. There is the mountains over there. There wasn't a whole lot of peddlers that came or merchants that came into town, partially because there wasn't a lot of people, but I think partially also because it wasn't that convenient. Do you think that Manetheren will become a large trade place for not just its tobacco?
Absolutely. I don't think it'll be called Manetheren.
It won't be called Manetheren?
No.
Okay.
Perrin promised that in the negotiations for the Pact of the Griffin. It'll be called the Two Rivers.
Okay.
It'll be its own separate district. And I do think it will because, one thing about that, I think there's more than one thing always, but something that a lot of people didn't talk about is that, in the beginning of the beginning of the Dragon Reborn, at the very beginning of the Dragon Reborn, Rand trying to use the One Power goes haywire, and it basically brings down a mountain, creating the path for Almoth Plain and all those people to actually get to the Two Rivers. So there's an easier way to get there now. So there is a road that will take you there from both sides. So that's opened up, and I think that's going to be a huge, huge, huge Silk Road, if you will.
Oh man! All right, let me sidetrack real fast. So Rand inadvertently created an earthquake, a mountain crumbled, and created a pass. This was inadvertent, a poor use of the power that he couldn't control, and yet perhaps Tavernus made it so that it was useful. So Rand also used the Kalendor and wiped out some of his own army, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can we think that it was actually helping him, though? Perhaps were they all traitorous people? I mean, we don't know of any friends that died from that. Could it have been Aaron was doing the same thing? Was it creating a mountain pass?
Oh,
I think it's indiscriminate. It would be indiscriminate. It'd be a mix.
But would Tavernus matter?
Who knows? That's a possibility. I never thought about that, but that's actually a cool way to think about it.
I mean, I don't think so, because and we're getting a little off topic, but when you think about when he went to
the show.
right.
Did I open the tavern door yet?
Yeah.
You want to do it? You want to do it now?
Yeah, open the tavern. Right, we haven't even walked in.
Cement Aaron here.
Basement of tangents. Ooh.
Exactly. I love it. Basement of tangents. That's brilliant. No, but when he was in Bandar Eben and all the people were starving, right? And Min was with him, and she saw the visions of the two little boys that he tried to save, and she knew they were going to die, right? He was going to bring peace to the world and once again break the world. I don't think the people that he killed with Commodore that were his allies were all like insidious people who were gonna vie against him somehow. I think it truly was indiscriminate. And I just like the ended up, after he went through the veins of gold, the enlightenment that he had, and then he went back to Bandar Eben, and then he did the good things, right? But that didn't stop people that he knew were going to die from dying.
True.
And,
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're right. I agree.
Janie Wright has commented, and welcome, Janie. It's nice to see you. Moraine says it's always about balance. Good to balance evil, and evil to balance good.
They're just different. It's the warp and the woof of the pattern is what Moraine said is good and evil.
Kid Rand was like, right now, I'm just getting the good side. The dark ones take the other one.
So I like the concept of the tavernness of Rand might make it so that new mountain range, whenever a pass is discovered, it will be a travel route that is beneficial to the two rivers, to make it like a waypoint on this Silk Road from west to east, and the two rivers area has become a hub of artisans and people, not like you said, the rug makers, the dye makers, the blacksmiths, silversmiths, goldsmiths. So they're producing trade goods that are going to enrich the area. You've got the Mountains of Mist with mines and whatnot to provide raw materials. I think it would be it makes sense that Tam could have one of Rand's universities built in the two rivers, one of these places of learning as a tribute to it was something that Rand was trying to do. And so it becomes a place of learning. And so this is like the good
a college town. It
becomes a college town. So there'll be even more sleepovers. All right.
With all the apple brandy you can drink.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. But there's, that's the happy fourth age where we think, oh, this is, they're finally, getting their peace. But the visions that Avienda saw seem to indicate that it's not going to be so rosy.
Agree.
Because there's still the Sharn marches, which is where.
Wait. Sorry, guys. This is great. Hashtag balance. Jesus.
You know what?
Christ.
I think they call Portland the Mountains of Mist.
Bonus points.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, have mercy. That was hilarious.
Rivers.
And thank you, everyone who's joining us. If you haven't, please like this already. And if you're new and haven't subscribed, do so and hit the bell so you know when we're on. We're all we do is live stuff. So gosh, jump in. Yeah. All right.
Okay, back to the two rivers.
Hey Dex, you can just turn on mute and keep that stream live.
I love you, Dex. I love you so much.
Someday we'll be through with the series and she'll be guesting.
And now
she'll be released from
she'll be released
on Sundays. Yeah. Let's talk about Perrin. Okay. Beth.
Brother Dan, that's Dan, that's King Perrin too.
Lord King Perrin, may he live forever.
Perrin, who's a good boy.
He's gonna start growing his two nails real long.
What about Perrin? What do you want to know?
Matt Stagger's in the house.
About him in the fourth age. He is presumably committed to this Two Rivers region. He is the Lord. We assume he's going back home with his wife.
Yes.
What is his deal? So we have as of now, we've always had a village council and a women's circle, and they handled everything through a more or less parliamentary style process. We handle this, you handle this, you don't get into our hey, we do the budget, you do the war, shit like that, right? Now we have lords. We have an appointed lord who is now in parents' absentia, Lord Tam. What will the structure of the Two Rivers now become? Marion, I'll ask you first. And will it be now? We have it. I'm sorry. To add to this question, we have a region that was very, very fearful and angry at strangers now being one of the more diverse regions in the area based on refugees. And what, besides artisanship and whatnot, how will this affect politics? Will we have refugees become in power, or will they keep to Two River folk? So within all that, that's my whole scope of the things. Mary, just go ahead and jump off.
Yeah, I would like to hope that it doesn't become this segregated caste system where the people that were there first are the ones that hold power. That is just a recipe for destruction.
Have we seen the impetus for otherwise, though, within the Two Rivers?
Kind of, yes, in that they see Fail as an outsider, but they look to her for leadership. But that may be because of her connection to Perrin, who they trust. So, but they, there are these new people coming in, these new customs, but the people that are coming in, they're not just refugees. They're coming in, they're settling, they're bringing their skills, they're bringing, they're contributing to the area, to the society. So they are earning their place by contributing. And I don't see, the wariness of outsiders that was there before wasn't like xenophobic. It was more like, I don't know these people, so I don't know what they bring. All they do is take. But these people that have come in and stayed, they're not taking, they are contributing. So I see them becoming part of the leadership and social structure of the area. And you can't, there's not enough Two Rivers folks to hold all the position of leadership in the size of the area that's going to be. And it's going to be a little bit of sibling rivalry. I mean, it's kind of like, New York and New Jersey, they just rib each other constantly, but they still live in the same area, and there's a lot more similarities than there are differences. And it's going to be like that for the Tarrants Ferry folk and the Watch Hill folk and the Devon Ride folk. And there's people all over the place, and there's still going to be, the neighborhoods. Are you from the east side? Are you from, downtown, whatever? That's just kind of human nature. But if things go well, they're going to take that energy and channel it towards positive growth, and they're going to need to, because like you said, there's still the White Cloaks, there are still the Sharans, there are still the Shan-Chan, there are still existential threats to the area. They got to figure out what's their relationship going to be with Andor, what's their relationship going to be with Saldea. It's going to be bumpy, and but they're going to have, whether they survive that or not is going to be dependent on if they stick together.
I mean, and Fael already started building on that, right? We saw that happening in the books when she was meeting with, when the three wisdoms came to her, right? And she kind of gently guided them, and it was her POV. And I don't remember what book it was, but it was in a prologue, and it was when she goes up to Perrin, who was on the rooftop, and he's like, I've got to go to him. He's calling for me. It's like he was being drawn to Rand, and that's how that whole thing ended. But she'd already been laying the groundwork for acceptance of other people, because she was wearing dresses of people who weren't from the Two Rivers, right? Then she was already trying to show people who were from the Two Rivers how important all of this new trade was coming. And she talked about a thatched roof. We have a thatched roof, but if you can't get it done, then we're gonna get a tiled roof, right? So she, and that's one of the things, people give Fael such a hard time sometimes, oh, she's a whiny brat. she's actually really brilliant. And she's one of my favorite characters in the books because of that reason.
She grows.
She grows. I mean, you literally see her grow, like from when you first meet her.
Wasn't she like 14 when you meet her?
16.
All right.
But
anybody
anyway,
here, raise your hand if you were not a little shit when you were 16.
I was a
you were a big
diminutive-
shit because you're really
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point. Brother Dan, I don't believe you.
I was an angel.
No. Jesus
but-
Christ.
But I mean, we already saw the foundations of that being laid by File in the books. I think it's pretty. I think what's going to happen is Perrin's going to very much take a hands-off approach, and let each municipality, so to speak, kind of manage themselves as they always have, and intervene when it needs to happen, and be the governing authority when you're dealing with other governing authorities. But I think they're pretty much, the village councils in each respective town are still going to run the way that they've always run. The wisdoms are always going to have, there's always going to be a women's circle. I don't think those things are going to change.
I
Because
will
I
have
don't see
veto power?
Perrin micromanaging anything.
He
If
doesn't
it's
have
not broke,
patience.
don't fix it.
I
If
mean-
it's not broke, don't fix it. That's going to be his approach.
He doesn't want to do that. He'd rather be up on the roof.
Right.
Yeah, just-
Exactly.
Them to back.
So
you know?
so
It's
but
back.
but we have to understand that it is going to be like demonstrably different. And,
Well,
yes,
and
but-
it's going to become more cosmopolitan, more developed. We're going to have different technologies that need to be
Okay.
like addressed and different
Yes.
concerns.
Yes, but he's not going to rule with an iron fist. He is
No, I
going
believe
to
that.
listen to the people who he respects, the elders of where he always did. He was still calling, after they were calling him Lord Alibara or Lord Perrin, he was still calling Bran Alvir, Master Alvir, Master Althor, Master
right.
Coffin.
I know.
You know, those things are
But Beth, we have to, and Jansen, I'm going to pull you in. We have to recognize a parent as being anecdotal. If we look at Kyrian or Andor, which has lots of houses that have
Two
lords.
Rivers folk are not going to let
Well,
Two Rivers become
hold
Andor or
on.
Kyrian.
Let's-
They're not going to
let's-
let it happen.
Once we have lords, once you have this
They're go-
division,
You
Yeah.
have
Let's
a
just bridge-
lord.
There's
You
gonna
have a
people-
lord.
wait,
We no, I think that we will get more. I think that we will get more. He appointed Lord Tam Althor. So go ahead, Jansen. I mean,
so here's why there's going to be more lords and ladies in the Two Rivers. We have a great number of people who have gone to the Black Tower. We have a great number of people who have gone to the White Tower. When they come back home, and a lot of Ashaman will, that status alone has made them lords. They're going to be living amongst other lords, and they're going to be settling. Some of them are settling in the Two Rivers. Perrin's going to have to be more hands-on than we might think he might, because there's going to be a lot of driving forces in the modernized, if you will, Two Rivers.
I think everything that you're hypothesizing is a recipe for disaster in the Fourth Age. It's an absolute recipe for disaster in the Fourth Age. If
I
you
agree.
have people who
Beth,
are
don't be
Aes
afraid of
Sedai
change,
or
Beth.
who
Don't be afraid of
keep-
change.
No, it's a recipe of disaster, because if you're saying that you're going to have a whole bunch of people who have the ability to channel and live hundreds and hundreds of years settling in your area, ultimately absolute power corrupts absolutely. There's a reason why when Avienda went through the glass columns again for the second time in Ruidian, we did not see Elaine sitting on the Lion Throne. There's a reason why.
This
And
is
there's
why
a
we need Brandon Sanderson to write more books.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it is a recipe of disaster. It's a recipe for disaster because
That's the only way you're
you're.
gonna have drama. I mean, I'm telling you, it's never going to
I
be.
mean, I don't think you're going to see people settling. I think there's always going to be if they choose not to be affiliated with the Black Tower or the White Tower anymore, they are still going to have like what Egwene was trying to lay the foundation for the kin. You retire out of the Aes Sedai, you are no longer an Aes Sedai, you're a member of the knitting circle of the kin. You still are under the authority of the White Tower, but you don't have a title anymore. You're just a person who can channel.
But
And
follow
if
the
you give people who have the kind of power that like a channeler has, the title of a lord, then you're laying the groundwork for like generations of what's the word I'm looking for? Dictatorship.
Yes. Well, look at Kyrie and look at Andor. This is what this breeds. I don't think that having lords in the Two Rivers, while I think it is inevitable, I do not think it is enviable. I think it is going to create more Weirmonds and more just people who there's going to be a division. There's going to be people are going to have carriages now, and the wealth division is going to be drastic here. And I think it's going to benefit the people that originally had the land. The land is going to, these farms are big. They're going to subdivide the land. They're going to become land barons and make money, as they should. This is how it goes. But if we call him a lord, if we have a Copland as a lord, why shouldn't we?
Well, if I'm Tad in the Two Rivers and I'm studying really, really hard to be a footman, and then I find out that I can channel, and I go to the Black Tower to learn, and I go back home to the Two Rivers, I don't think I'm going to still be a footman.
Why would you go back home to the Two Rivers if you could channel?
Get drummed out,
baby.
So you don't think anybody where are they all going to be in the same place? I think people in the Black Tower are going to be scattered all over the country.
But they're going to be filling roles.
Yeah.
But they're not going to necessarily. I think there's going to be when you become an Aes Sedai, with the exception of Elaine, right? Because she became the Queen of Andor, but you saw other nobles, Moraine, forsake her title to become Aes Sedai. I don't think. I think are going very rarely. I think that there are going to be tenants involved that, as long as you are affiliated in any way, shape, or form, you have an appointment to somewhere, you cannot use a title or obtain a title, because that's a manipulation of power.
But you might be right about the title, but like you said about power, how do you think a man who can channel from the Black Tower is going to be treated? Walking into
No, I don't disagree with you there. I just don't see, and Janie said something very, very, very valid. Andor is still going to, the Two Rivers is still part of Andor.
Yep.
So technically, the Queen of Andor is the person who needs to bestow the title.
Isn't it a district now?
It's a stewardship. Because Perrin became the steward of the Two Rivers on behalf of Randall Thor. And he is not actually like the ruler. He's ruling in Rand's stead.
Yeah, but
when you think about that, so he appointed Tam his second in case he didn't come back.
So is Rand going to be like Ishara's was for Andor? Your legitimacy for leadership depends on your connection. How many connections you could tie to Rand?
I bet it turns into that. Because his children are now the freaking heirs of Andor and Kyrian, right?
Well, like nobody knows that they're his children.
She said it in the last battle. She announced it.
Everybody knew.
She said it. She said, "I'm carrying the children of the Dragon Reborn to rally the troops." Oh yeah, they'll believe it.
And everyone knew in Avienda's POV too in the future, and everyone knew that Avienda's children were also the sons and daughters of the dragon. So everyone knew. I think that definitely they're going to use that, and then Elaine is going to use things because remember she told Fael and Perrin she wants one of her kids to marry one of theirs.
This is so depressing. This is just truth that history just repeats itself over and over.
Of course it does.
It's a wheel. It's a dumb wheel, Beth.
This is a dumb wheel. You dumb wheel. Shamil's right.
This is what we've learned out of 14 books. It's just a dumb wheel.
No, yeah. In 10 years, we're going to be looking at Sen Bui like yelling at his flip phone, trying to figure out how to text.
Alive. He will not die.
Sen was right.
And she even said, Egwene said, even Elaine will do this. She even did it. She said Elaine gobbled up another country when she had the chance even.
Yep.
She said she's going to keep doing it. Like, that's the circularity of the wheel.
Yeah.
Speaking
All right,
of
we're an hour in, so let's jump to Nynaeve if we can. And we'll save Rand to the end. I know
love my
Ryan wants
boo.
to talk to Egwene, but I'm not. I mean,
What?
all right.
Dan, okay.
Hey, talk about Egwene, Mike.
Seriously, for 1 second, I just want everyone to know, Dan and I were arguing a point about the Wheel of Time, and Dan says, I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, but it's so obvious the more you read it that my point is correct. And I was like, oh my God.
Intuitively obvious.
Who is this man?
Thank you. That's why I have Frenzy on. Mary's going to back me up 1,000,000%.
All right. So I got a question, and then I got a theory that is just wild. Egwene talks to Rand, right? Last battle, boom, boom, boom. He hears Egwene's voice specifically giving him advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she is okay. So I'll get to my theory. Do you think that's the last time we're ever going to hear Egwene again, or is she going to be able to do this like more?
No.
You mean like, is she a Force ghost? Like
New-
Qui-Gon Jinn?
Whatever.
She's going to be in
Yes.
Teleron Riyadh.
Yeah,
Wait, she's the hero.
Egwene Jinn.
Yeah.
Egwene
You got
Jinn.
one crucial thing about this exact moment. You remember the time was being fluctuated when Egwene was going up into the light. During that time was the time when Rand got to talk to her, when she was leaving the Earth. And she was basically telling him goodbye. So she's not going to be she's not going to be the voice of the of the Earth or anything like that. I think she's gone. And I think the only way that we're going to see her remnants is maybe in the colorful crystals holding the Sangreal somewhere.
Ryan,
Well,
I think
was
we
she
found
saying
our first
goodbye, or
goal.
was she telling Rand to get his head out of his ass?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Definitely.
Well, if you remember, because when it happened, he was not just seeing her death. He was seeing dozens and dozens of people's death. He saw Huron die. He saw Davern Bashir die. He saw so many people dying, and that's when he was like panic stricken. And then he saw Egwene, and he said, "No, not her." And then she says, "Why are you the only one who can die? Why are you the only one who can sacrifice yourself for this?" And she kind of like, once again, is the voice of reason to Rand, right? And so I think that was her parting gift, so to speak. I don't know
Did
that
you
she
say
became a
once
hero of
again?
the Horn.
Did
Yeah,
you say
once
once again, or did you
Yes.
mean for once in her life?
Once again.
Okay. All right. Did
Dude,
she
you
call him a bullhead?
can't go tangential on me talking about Egwene, because she is my second favorite character in the entire books, and I'll have to put you
All
on.
right, so here's my wild theory. That time when she was floating slowly up to heaven, saying, "Rand, you have to let me die." Could the Dark One have reincarnated her,
No.
grasped her up, spit her
No.
back out?
No.
Why- Well, why no?
Why not? You guys are so definitive.
Why would he?
Because he needs something over Rand. She's the most powerful channeler, and she died, and she's going to heaven.
She's not the most powerful channeler.
I think there's
I believe she got trapped in the boar with the Dark One.
She was already
Yeah,
dead by the
just
time that
thinking.
happened, though. So no, I disagree.
all right,
Hard
well-
disagree.
And remember, the light that she was traveling was on the flame of Tarvalon, which is the opposite of Balefire, and also has some of the same properties as Balefire. So I don't think the Dark One could have touched her.
Okay, that's an answer I appreciate. You guys snide little
Gary,
quick
will we-
responses.
Will the
Dare
voice of Egwene ever show up to any of our characters again post book?
Maybe in their minds.
I don't-
Their imagination, or if they go to Teleran Riyadh and make her.
But yeah, based on my understanding of the metaphysics of the Wheel of Time, if she's a hero of the Horn, she'll be hanging out in Teleron Riyadh, and there are people there that could, if she chooses to be seen there, she can be, similar to how Birgitta was.
No, I didn't even think. Yeah,
But if she was a hero of the Horn, wouldn't she have appeared when Olvar sounded the horn at the last battle? Because Noel had just died in the tower of Genji.
Noel died.
Well, he died a little while ago, but then Birgitta had just been killed, and she was just moments earlier. She'd been beheaded by David Hanlon. So
Egwene did enough to be a hero.
yeah, but wouldn't she have reappeared because you become a hero upon your death? So she was already dead. So I don't think she's a hero of the Horn.
Unless she was another soul and she's come back already before.
That's quick. That's quick. But I mean, Geidel. Well, that's because Geidel was not summoned by the. Ooh, that's a good point. But because he's already been born. Birgitta said that before she left Elaine at the last time, I think, Nonan Garden. She said something similar to that. She didn't feel Geidel anymore. He was a baby during the last battle, basically.
Said that Olvar is not Geidel Kane, but
Olvar is not Geidel Kane, and neither is what's his name's son.
I believe he wanted him to be Geidel Kane, but then realized he blew it somewhere and was like, yeah, fine, he's not Geidel Kane.
Well, to answer Brother Dan's question, will Egwene talk to people? If she's a hero of the Horn, yes, and Teleron Riyadh. If she's not, then no.
Well, Birgitte wasn't even supposed to talk to. I mean, no heroes talk in Teleron Riyadh. They're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to, but they have the ability to.
Right? Yes. You're breaking the precepts.
Breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Breaking the law.
You got still talk to me.
No, light blinded fool. Brandon Sanderson confirmed that is not. He is not He's not Grady's child or Jur Grady. Yeah, no.
Jur and Sora.
They're
Grady.
not. They're not. He's not either of their children.
Yeah.
He's out there waiting to be a hero in this new age because this new age needs heroes.
He's just
like he's a baby and like mom, like he's in a crib and like mom like drops like some sort of like hot implement and the baby just like catches it.
Do you know what my canon is in regards to Brigitte?
Please.
She's one of Melane's kids. Melane's daughters.
Oh,
I think she's one of
Melane's
Melane's daughters.
Or
no,
Min.
I don't know which one. I know she was going to name Egwene and Min, right? Yeah. But
That's
I
so
think
funny.
because Melaine is about to give birth during the last battle. Like she's that pregnant.
That's true.
And she said, I feel my time is coming. I'm going to be reborn. And I think that one of Melane's daughters is Brigitte. That's my
amazing.
take. I don't know how accurate it is, but
and it was really classy for you to not say this is your head canon.
You guys
just said canon. That's nice because she did lose her head.
You forget there's something very odd about Aviendha's four children, according to Min.
There's something what?
There's something odd about Aviendha's four
She's
children.
being racist.
I know what that is.
No.
They are the children that
Ew.
she is going to conceive with Rand version 2.0. Moradin's
Be
body,
odd, there's
Rand's
four of them.
spirit.
That's even.
Rand's soul, Moradin's body. That's why they're different. Because it's Rand, but it's not Rand's body.
They look like Morden.
Well, yeah, they're by a lot.
Eyes. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I know,
that's about like that's. Have we ever thought about like them just not being attracted to Morden? You're like, damn, like it's not working for me.
But-
like you were hot as Rand.
Oh no, he's hot. He's totally hot.
But-
Hot.
Beth, there's something that's against that theory. Everybody, if you're saying that, then you're telling me that everybody knows that Moradin is the Dragon Reborn because
No, she's gonna meet with him in secret. Who's to say that she's not gonna have another relationship with somebody afterwards?
Oh my god, you got so high pitched right there.
Sorry.
everyone knew that her kids were Dragon kids.
I love it. Wait, go on. Sorry, Jansen, you cut out for a second. Go say it again.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Kids were Rands.
Do we know
Yeah.
that her visions are true?
That wasn't her even her visions. She was using the art. She was using the Terangriel and
Well,
Roy-
maybe she lies and she says that she got pregnant with him just before the last battle, but she finds him just after the last battle, and it's like a.
Just
We need a
like it.
Ranlan Moripovich.
And Aiel would not lie, though.
Well, no, she doesn't lie. She just doesn't tell anybody anything more than they need to know. Because he says, "I wonder which one of them's going to come find me first."
and he may be Morden, but he's also Rand. So
He is exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Is that I think that it's Rand version 2.0.
What a narcissistic attitude, by the way.
Yeah, go mine light your pipe somewhere else. Freak.
yeah, he's got to go walk the earth and leave his baby mamas to do their own thing.
he's okay. Yeah, so we could talk about. Okay, so we have Dan. You tried to bump over to Nynaeve, and we never got there.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if how interested are in Nynaeve. She's loving life. She's gonna have maybe some babies. What is she gonna be, like a powerful figure in the Two Rivers, or is she gonna be ruling Malkiri?
It's more, is she going to stay with Malkia or is she staying with the tower?
Be the queen.
Dude, she's going to become the Amarlin seat after Lan dies and Cadsuane passes away.
She'd be the worst Amerlin ever.
Or the best.
Yeah,
Well, if you think
Because she's gonna fuck the system.
she'll just have like an air switch, like a special. She'll make a special switch Terangrial.
Yeah, you're not going to Shiriam study. You're going to my box room where I box your ears.
I don't think I ever be fully in charge. There will always be somebody that Nynaeve has to look up to in her life. I don't think
That's a good point.
have full reign ever. And it's shown, they've shown that through the entire series. I think that like Sharina Malloy would be Amerlin, I think, before Nynaeve.
Actually, Water Holocausty a little while ago made a really good point. He said that he thinks that Elaine becomes the Amerlin and she abdicates to one of her children for Andor. And so that's how she would become the Amerlin, which actually would be pretty brilliant when you think about it. Because she's got the...
It seems pretty tyrannical, if you ask me. Yeah.
It kind of does seem pretty tyrannical, but isn't everything about the White Tower pretty tyrannical?
Yeah, it's still a puppet government.
Hey,
no, not even.
Is his name Elaine Jr. and Eric?
And so, yeah, I could see her going for that.
And Ivanka? No, just kidding. Sounds pretty Trumpy, though. I don't know.
Yeah, install a puppet government in Andor while you're like ruling.
I can see why you would want a puppet government, Brother Ryan.
Oh my God, I just thought
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, because I'm a self-hating puppet. Yeah, we've covered
I think
this.
A puppet government would be ideal.
Oh yeah.
No, we did not go there.
Min's from Barelon, so she's still from. Min's one of the most powerful people on Earth right now. Well, actually,
Min is tied to the Shan-Chan.
Wait, how do we know this? LBF?
Darbinda.
What's going on? How do we know what he's talking about, or they are talking about?
Elaine is still what?
A queen.
I think she's
100 years
talking about
later.
Rand's vision when he goes into the future and he goes into Andor. But I don't think that's true because Avienda's vision is of her first her daughter, and then her granddaughter met with the queen. And the queen, wasn't it the granddaughter was the queen of met with the queen of Andor? Yeah, it was the granddaughter who met with the queen of Andor, and they were first cousins, like second first cousins once removed or whatever. They had the same great grandparents or something, right? So, anyway, I
Adam
don't
and
think.
Eve?
Sure.
What if the
Farm-
oddity?
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry, we're accused of not wearing pants. I want to say, yeah, puppets don't wear pants. They wear the sexiest boy shorts.
I don't wear shoes.
All right, yeah.
There.
I like to feel the earth.
These are my gems. You can almost look at my. It's almost opening up in the middle. You can almost see my wing.
Oh Jesus.
And by the way, String Flame, try to float like me.
Like a butterfly stinging like a bee.
I think I'm gonna land softly.
You guys could be wearing pants, but nobody has a hat as cool as Jansen's.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in
Facts.
Nynaeve and Lan after the books. I think that's like at some point they're just. Oh, here's a good question. Will Nynaeve be a good mom?
No,
Yes.
like
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my popcorn?
Yes.
she said she wanted Lan's babies, but children's These are Nynaeve's words. They can make a mess out of nothing. They never listen, and they almost do it on purpose.
See, yeah, she'd be the worst mom.
I think motherhood would change her perspective.
She'd be like a raise, raise him by the rod.
Right.
As my mom.
Ryan and I had hypothesized Lan and Nynaeve going to a parent-teacher conference. And Nynaeve is not a glowing figure in our thoughts here. It's Lan who is the peacemaker.
She actually accidentally incinerates the teacher.
She's tugging her braid. She walks in tugging her braid.
No,
She doesn't have
I
a
made her.
braid anymore.
I was trying to improvise Nynaeve, and I turned her into Miss Piggy.
Angry?
I can see that.
I can totally see that, actually. I can see that. 100%.
The man walks in,
I
he's
can see
all,
that.
hey, Tyshar, Mrs. McGillicuddy.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, my God. Are we gonna talk about Matt?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Jansen, guide us through Matt.
Matt will not be in the Two Rivers, but his
No.
family will.
Yes, they will.
And they
Yes.
will be revered because they will also be of the blood.
Not a bloody lord.
And you know, the thing about that is we know that Tuon does not give away anything that she has her hands on. And if she has her husband's family in the Two Rivers, she's going to use them.
So how do you think that that's going to factor into the fact that Bode Cawthon is a novice at the White Tower?
Well,
Ooh.
Who has a lot of ability. She's as strong as Egwene.
almost.
Well, you know what I mean. She's got more power than a lot of people. So what do you think that's going to be for that relationship? Because Bode Cawthon is going to become an Aes Sedai. Like, there's no doubting that, right? So
I think that it's going to be contentious. Like always, her and her brother are going to be at odds all the time. And because she can't touch him with the power, Matt's not going to care. And it's going to always be, it's always going to be that way.
Hey, I gotta
but
go.
do you
Hey,
think
I think her parents are so shitty that like she just might not even pass. Like she
Well-
won't be able to cut it. I don't think it's guaranteed she's gonna be an Aes
what?
Sedai.
Her parents are not shitty in the
You're
books.
getting-
Her parents are amazing in the
The
books.
Cawthons? Wait, who are we talking about? I thought
Yes.
You're talking about
The
the show.
Cawthons are amazing.
In the show, they're not.
In the show, they're terrible, but in the books, they're great. Abel Cawthon in the books is like an amazing person.
Yeah, he's a horse trader, whatever that means.
But I
No,
mean, he's also one of the people who goes
friendly.
into hiding with Tam Thor during when the
The White Cloaks.
White Cloaks come in. They go into hiding, and he helps Alana and Varen in that whole pre-Two Rivers battle.
Yeah,
It's
because
not
he's
bad.
like, yeah, I was homeless for a couple of years. I used
Yeah,
Billy
Abel
Kelly-
Cawthon is amazing in the book.
do you think Matt would have been able to like go through all the training? Like the Cawthons don't follow rules. Cawthons don't listen. They do their shit. Like I can't imagine like anyone related to Matt being able to just like toe the line and go
Remember
through all that.
said that Bode had more of Matt in her than she liked to admit.
Right?
Right.
Does that make her a lesbian?
Oh, yeah, no. So, Frenzy. Abel Cawthon was a horse trader in a xenophobic village. What
What does that mean?
does
What
that
the
mean?
fuck are you
He was
talking
just
about a
on drugs, right? I mean,
Oh
he-
no, brother Dan. Okay, we need to come up here. Face him off.
Me? What-
Yeah, she did not like xenophobic comment.
they
The
are
Two
xenophobic.
Rivers is not a xenophobic village.
They're like, oh, one time there was this guy who tried to steal horses. I don't know what happened to him. By the way, what happened to him, Mary? He
They
probably
are-
got hung by a tree in an orchard. They don't like unscheduled visitors. They don't like. They try to almost kill Moraine. This is xenophobic. Yeah,
No, they were excited when Moraine came. She was a lady. She was
a lady until they found out she was an Aes Sedai. They were
Aes Sedai.
thrilled
Yeah,
to
and
have
then
her
they
They
there.
like
They tried
having
to burn the
peddlers.
witch.
They
No,
like
no,
having
sure,
peddlers
sure.
come to
Yeah.
They
town.
looked
You
at her
guys
big
are-
ring.
until you pull out a lighter and then they're like, burn the witch.
Y'all are But that
You know
doesn't make
that
them xenophobic.
They
Abel-
are. They
They're-
don't.
Being
they're
like,
superstitious
witchophobic.
does not mean xenophobic.
Yes,
I'm
but
sorry, it
Abel
does not.
they do not like strangers.
Karen Ferry. If you read the books and remember,
Yeah.
Abel Coffin made more Terran Ferryman comments than almost anybody.
Yep.
He
Right.
went there
Yep.
to watch Hill a lot to trade horses. He even says in one POV that he was talking to another merchant around Terran Ferry that said Aiel were in the this side of the Dragon Ball, but he didn't believe him. He says that himself. Abel move back and
Yes,
forth.
but the proof that they're not xenophobes, because when freaking Gaul, Bane, and Chiad introduced themselves to Marin Alvear, she welcomed them in her home with open arms.
Because
She
Yeah,
was-
but then they whispered behind their backs.
No, they did not.
Like,
You
oh,
guys
there
are
goes
way
the
off base
neighborhood.
here. There's a difference
Marin and
between.
Donatello, everyone else hated him. Mary, what
There's
do
a
you?
difference.
I don't think the Two Rivers were xenophobic. I think they're like, oh my god, who are
Thank
these
you,
weird
Frenzy.
people?
Thank
But
you, Frenzy.
and yes, they'll talk about them because that's what they do. There's nothing exciting. There's you watch sheep all day. Anything that comes along is a new topic of discussion, and they'll talk about it for years. That doesn't mean they hate it. It just gives them something to to talk about.
Right.
No,
and
I
think
mean,
about
but that's-
when Lord Luke came in before they
Oh,
knew
I
who
think
he
he would
was.
use power on them.
Danger Town.
Absolutely
so
agree.
This
agree.
is one of the reasons why the it's so fun to see the Two Rivers change, because they were just hillbilly weirdos, and then all of a sudden like they become like more diverse through as events, and they have
And I
forced to
love that,
change.
and I hope that they
You're
become
right.
diverse weirdos.
Yeah, you're right. They used to always say Rand was the only person in the district who looked different. His eyes were the only one that were blue.
They've never seen another guy with blue eyes ever.
And they teased them about it, but kids tease each other. They weren't like taking
only-
him out and tie him into a tree and beating the crap out of him or something like that.
Only
Maybe
Owen,
Coughlin did.
only Owen Cogger did, and he got punched in the nose for it.
Right.
Congers were bullies.
There's always-
So Matt with his kids. I do not see again. I see his kids becoming Kardashians. I don't think from this at all.
Matt's
Help me.
kids, that whole Sean Chan culture is the siblings go at each other. Like they do hate each other. Like they are rivals. They are actively trying to kill each other. Do you think he's going to be able to change that culture?
I think they only have one child.
Will Matt always have luck
Yes.
on his side?
Yes.
Okay,
Whether
why?
it's avarice or he makes
Yeah,
Aaron-
yeah, so yeah.
Powers too still.
Well,
Aaron
that's
will use his powers. Matt can too.
Will they
That's
still
the
be Taverin?
yeah. That's a larger question. Will Taverin exist in these
I
three?
don't think Taverin has anything to do with Matt and Perrin's powers.
No,
Not
you're right
really.
about that. No, but also like Taverin has a lot to do with Matt and Perrin. Also, they're
With his luck,
inextricable.
it does.
Well,
The
if you
dice
guys
coupling.
if you guys remember the outline for the Outrigger novels, right? Matt has fallen out of favor from Tuon at that point, and Perrin is on his way to deal with an old friend in Shanshan,
Which is
which
well, we
is
don't know
Matt.
where, right? We just know he's
Well, no,
on
but
a
you know
boat.
it's Matt. He's on a boat.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the thing is, so Matt has fallen out of favor with Tuon for whatever reason 10 years after the last battle.
probably for being Matt.
It
being
happened.
Matt.
One out of every three.
Yes,
There-
exactly, Luz.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right,
That's
so
exactly-
that means he lost his luck.
Perrin, no.
I mean, this is the thing. I think that
poo-poo
there
me.
the thing is you're not Taviran for your
Bunch of
entire
poo-poos in
life,
this chat.
right?
Perrin, but Perrin can still use his powers. And after he said he didn't
Well,
know
yeah,
what-
but those are but who's to say that the luck Matt had wasn't his Taviran nature changing the dice and changing all of that? I think Matt's luck.
Welcome, Andrew.
I think he might be lucky, but that doesn't mean that once the pattern's done with him, he's still going to have that dice rolling in his head. That all of those.
No, he will. I'll tell you why. When he lost his eye, he talked to himself about what he was going to do. He started getting worried. He's like, I don't understand. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fight anymore. I don't know if I'm going to ever be able to do anything anymore. And he just tossed a knife right behind him, and it heard something.
Well, yeah, but that's because he was still Taviran then.
Yeah, but I still think he'll always be lucky.
I know, but the tavern. Okay, but we understand that Taveran is not a permanent thing. You're not born with it. It comes and goes, and you're
Correct.
Taveran until the pattern needs you.
Pattern's done with
not
you.
Be, yeah.
And this, well, Ryan and I were talking about this very thing this morning, and I think that at the beginning of an age, the pattern has need for a few Taveran in order to set the weave going. While Ryan was like, "Oh, at the beginning of the age, no, there's probably."
I think they're absent. I think it'll be the absence of Taveran, and we all like work it out because we don't have the Dark One influencing things directly. We just have people, and people are going to balance themselves out.
What do you think, Mary?
I don't think Matt being Taveran or not is going to be playing into what he's doing in the Fourth Age. He can fall out with Tuan on his own. It may be because they're just two strong personalities. Maybe he just cannot abide the Shan culture, especially since his sisters are Aes Sedai. And,
right?
He just can't hang.
Good point, Mary. Jeez, yeah.
So, he's trying to change things from within. He can't. So he becomes disgraced. He's cast out, whatever, divorced, whatever. But he's still trying, maybe he still feels some responsibility, or maybe he just likes to fuck shit up. He is Matt.
That doesn't change.
He might be the first person to not be affected by the Crystal Throne if it is a Terangrial, because
he's got the fox head. Right.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
What was that, Jens?
Does he still have all of his memories?
I think so.
Yeah.
All the memories. That makes him a brilliant tactician. Is there still going to be war at that time? I think we've seen that. Yes, that is the case. That's one of the problems.
Shanshan, Sharans are still there, and all of Shanshan on the other side.
Right, and the Black Tower has become a power, and that rhymes.
No,
and you're a poet, and you know it.
Right?
Yeah, for real. Like maybe Taveran breaks that relationship up.
Oh, Janie, good point.
Right. See, I don't think you can discount Taveranness. If he is Taveran, it cannot be a factor you just gloss over. And so with this thing, if he stays Taveran, then yeah, maybe his marriage falling apart, or his, I don't know what it is. It was on it so that Perrin could get over to Shara or Shanshan and to get him there. I mean, who knows? Maybe they still have the color flashes. I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
I hope.
I have a question geographically. Is Shara closer to Shanshan than it is to Randland?
Depends on the size of the ocean.
Depends, yeah.
But do we ever find that out? Like, did we ever see like, did they ever talk about Shanshan trading with Shara? Because we had like the Silk Road through the waste before Kyrian was cut off, right?
You would think that if it was a shorter or smaller ocean, that the Shanshan would have definitely sailed there if they could sail all the way across the Aerith Ocean. So,
I'm just wondering, like, if that's ever
why
been.
Why are we even sailing when you just make a door?
I'm just talking about during
the.
Well, you can now, but they didn't know how to travel back.
I know, but now they do. So, like, all of a sudden, that really changes how everything works. You could create a doorway and put a boat through it and have it come out on the other side of the ocean.
We know that the Shanshan have silk because they're the garments of the High Lords.
Oh, yes, you're right.
But do we think that the relationship between the Shanshan and the Sharans would be just strictly commerce, considering what the Shanshan think of channelers?
Do they even know about Sharan channelers?
Because Sharan are very insular, so they could have kept it hidden.
Rain.
Okay, first off, Rain Y is the best new face name.
Facts, 100%.
Do the ways go to Shanshan?
Or Shara?
No.
Because the ocean?
Because the Ogier. The ways
but the Ogier are in Shanshan. So,
but they didn't have the same. They didn't have the same ties to the steading. They didn't have the longing like the Rainlands did.
Have the longing in Shanshan.
No, they don't.
Mary, do we know why that is the case?
They probably found steading in Shanshan, and were able to not develop the longing, and they've just became part of the Shan Chen culture, which sounds like was just constantly shifting.
They
nations-
appropriated everything they came across, basically, is what happened with Shan-Chan. They literally were like a scourge and just
Right.
overtook everything that they came across.
We just read the chapter where they said that the gardeners it was a lieutenant, I think, in the Shan-Chen. They're like
A lieutenant, Dan.
lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant
Show some
Dan.
class,
You ain't got no
Dan.
legs,
Lieutenant Dan.
You got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Well,
I'm here
actually,
from
you
the-
do have legs. You've shown
I
them.
know that, Forrest.
Wait, Jansen, hold on. Jansen's talking. I can't hear him.
Go ahead, Jay.
Or what the lieutenant's name was. Hoftra, no. What was it? Can't remember, damn. My head's blanking.
But it was the one who was talking about the gardeners and saying that they have an agreement that they are not owned but
By the
they
throne.
work. Yeah.
No, they were death
work
watch.
for them, but they're not owned by the Empress.
But it was.
That's a great question. Are the Sharan Ogier? We have no evidence.
We
Yeah,
don't
no,
know,
but
but
I
I have
know.
a feeling they probably were. Any Ogier were probably annihilated by the Sharans because they're pretty.
Oh, you're gonna say that Sharns was xenophobic, but not the Two Rivers folks. Fascinating.
Yes.
Hey, you
Yeah,
saw what-
fascinating.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
They would have killed
Dark,
them.
definitely.
I know.
I mean, that's true.
I mean-
the Sharans are very xenophobic.
I know,
Very.
but okay, yes, maybe a skosh more than Two Rivers. That's fine.
A
I'll
So
give you
skosh?
that.
was the ideal. So was the
It's
It's just a skosh.
Just a smidge.
Oh my god.
All right.
I think you
Okay.
guys just bring up these arguments just to bring up these arguments.
no,
I don't think you
we're-
really believe some of the things you say.
no,
I think you
we
say
are
what
propelling
you
the
say.
conversation forward. No, I don't stand behind anything I say. I'm a puppet. What do you think? What do you think's happening here? All right, so I think we covered all the Edmonds Field 5, except for the most famous reincarnated character in all of the books. We know her. We love her.
Our favorite deadbeat dad?
No, the shaggy brown mare. That All right. Yeah.
Still
So
betting-
redonkulous. I can't even right now.
I'm still
But
thinking
she's a horse, not a
still
donkey.
hoping there's a secret chapter where Bella and Darb's baby.
Oh no. Mandar would have
I'll
nothing
be
to do with
so jealous.
He's like, no, Mandar goes out with models. He doesn't go out with plump, shaggy horses.
Now let's remember one of the unanswered questions in season 2 of the show is where are the horses?
Don't let
They,
them
sh-
get more
they
rain.
shoot
Well,
shoot them all away.
Right, Frenzy? Oh my god, right.
She's
Shut our
ruthless.
Logoth
Love
took
it.
two of them, remember?
Say it again, bro.
Shut our Logoth took two
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. Shut our.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, they go to the Waygate and they just
They let them go.
unceremoniously release Bella and Mandarb and Maureen's
Aldieb.
horse,
But you
Aldeeb.
They might have found them in Tarvalon, since it was in Tarvalon. So they might have ran back to the stables at the White Tower.
But then,
I know,
or
okay,
they,
I know
you know,
Ace,
yeah, could be.
you're speculating. I think that
And remember, Mandarb found his way a lot of times back, even in the last battle. Remember how they were spooked that the horse came out of nowhere and
so
had
great.
burned.
Yeah.
It still was
Well,
ready.
he's a trained battle
He's a
horse. though.
trained war
Like,
horse.
Yeah, war horse. Yeah.
No, Bella's like wandering around, being like, "Where's my family?"
Bella did more for the
Where's
pattern.
my family?
Bella's looking for hay.
I'm telling you
Yes.
what, reading that one line paragraph,
Hey.
and
which
then
one?
she died, hit me so harder
Yes.
than even a
That Harriet
Gwendoline.
wrote that.
I mean, just like I was like, wait a minute, what?
I was
Wait, I
shocked.
thought Harriet was the one who brought her back to life in the companion.
I'll tell you guys my
Maybe
most
both.
tearjerking moment in the Wheel of Time if you want.
Hold on, you hold
Yes.
that. Put a
Ooh.
pin in that, Jansen. Hold. So
All right, yeah, teaser.
I thought that Harriet was upset that Sanderson killed off Bella, and
She said she had to die. She was of the
Then why
mindset Bella
is she-
has to die.
Then why did they
is she
ring?
alive in the companion?
That's a great question.
I thought that was Harriet's choice.
Yeah,
Mary,
I don't know.
nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
I-
Mary. You
Oh
go
no,
through,
I
look
think
at your notes.
I would have to go look at the notes.
Go through the
but
Rolodex.
Text her right now.
Can you call her up?
Yeah, can you call her?
I think she, there are no endings, so keeping it nebulous keeps us talking.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay. Okay. All
Love
right.
it.
I'm sorry, Jansen. Thank you. I didn't want to lose that thread.
No, totally. My most tear-jerking moment in the Wheel of Time was when I thought we lost Telmanus.
Oh yes.
It hurt. I was like, oh, no.
Yes.
I was hurt.
Talmanis is a real one. Like literally, like he is such a real one. Like
Hurt when I thought he was going to die. I was like, no.
even with his half-shaven head and his powdered
One of my
forehead.
favorite.
Shit.
How
a
silly
real
would that look? I mean, if you saw someone who had a powdered forehead, you're like, what
And
is
half of
this?
his head shaved, like from
Yeah.
here back, he'd have
Bro.
hair, but then like this part.
Bro, yeah.
it'd
Then
be
you're at
all
a Sleepy
powdered.
Time Gorilla Museum concert.
Relevant to a very attractive man.
Sleep is raw.
No, we saw Andrew successfully recreate that, right?
Yes,
As a-
I remember that at the Water
that was
Holiday.
Amazing. Yeah.
Lord.
He just busted out and shaved his head and got some baby powder and just went to town.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's going. You know what? That's commitment. I give him props on that. That's all.
Anything for
Facts.
charity.
Speaking of what a holiday.
Okay,
Speaking
this
of
is
what
great.
holiday, yeah.
Hey, we understand your sense of humor, Tomanis, but we never tell you because it's funnier that way. All right, Jansen's got to go. I can see that look in his eyes.
Well, Jansen just moved into a new house.
Exit scene
Congrats,
left
my
even.
man.
Thank you. And right now, the family is packing without. Like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta go protect them from all those child labor laws.
Jansen, so real quick story. You had a bunch of stuff in your new house that you're going into?
Yes. Treasures beyond your wildest dreams.
Right.
And also a bunch of crap.
No, really.
All treasures.
Really nice, cool things.
Wow.
He left everything. So
That's what happens when you die.
That's what happens when you get sent to
Nothing comes. Nothing goes with you. You can't
foreclosures.
pack-
found some cool stuff. Most of it's going to be donated. Most of it has been donated. But really, really, really cool furniture that was so much better than ours. We left ours out on the side of the street.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Well, do you have
good
anything
luck.
to promote before you leave, buddy?
No, only that I can't wait to see you guys next week so we can talk about Amazon and the
Yes.
and all
We're
the
talking
We're doing
show
a show
next week.
next week?
Yeah, show.
Show.
Finally get Jansen's hot takes on the show. I'm so excited for this.
And there are so many things that they did and so many things that they did differently than they did from the book that I want to talk about. And there's so many reasons why I know why they did certain things and why they didn't do certain things. And I, for the most part, loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And it is everything that I want. And I hope that it could even be more.
Yeah, I can't wait to have this discussion. I haven't talked about the show in a good month or so, and I still have some thoughts I wanted to talk about with you. So awesome. Thank you, Jansen. You are awesome. Jansen Lashley Haynes. Look him up on IMDb. Check out his past episodes of Abbott Elementary, of
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
He was on Star Trek.
Killed by the board queen.
God, that must have been so freaking amazing. Oh my God. That's a whole different conversation.
Like, and he's in so many indie movies. It's crazy. Like, he supports the local arts.
Those things I've ever done. When I tell this to everybody, when I walked in to get fitted for that uniform, I was bawling like a baby.
Oh, I would.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely makes sense.
Because you didn't fit and you had to go like slim down.
Because it was so tight on your balls.
You're like, these are not made for me.
You're like, oh, I gotta be in 8 hours. Oh.
I did have to wear Spanx.
Yeah, you gotta tuck all that shit in.
Really don't leave a lot.
Doesn't.
No, in Star
doesn't
Trek,
for
there are
those
no
shows,
penises
seriously.
in Star Trek. It's all like Ken dolls.
It's all
You have to-
smooth.
Yeah.
No ruffles here.
Mary, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being such a really fun, positive influence in this community for a long time. You jumped on our show really early on. You were really supportive, and it made us feel it validated, I guess.
You guys are so much fun. I love your perspective, and you just bring a sense of irreverence, but just a sense of love. You guys, you can tell. It shines through your puppet faces. You guys love this, and we love you.
Ryan, mark that and put it on our everything.
No, that's why I put the Patreon underneath this, so we get double like the commercial.
Double. Thank you so much, Beth. Are you streaming tonight?
I am. I was supposed to be playing Fall Guys with Tom tonight, but he
is.
He's going to be able to make it. So poor Tom.
He's going through some shitty.
But
He's going through a.
y'all don't make humor of Tom's precarious predicament right now.
No, it's
Barely
all
holding
good.
on.
It's all good.
Anyway, that being said, so yeah, I am literally just going to be streaming some Overwatch tonight. So yes, gonna get sweaty with some competitive, and yeah, I'll be cussing, I'll be drinking,
Awesome.
and I'll be cussing, but I'll be doing it with a smile on my face and a glow in my heart.
Yes, and the
And
best
a gun
background.
in your hand, and a
Yes.
cap in their ass.
Exactly.
I like watching your streams. I get happy when you win or when you do well because you are effusive and you're like, oh yeah, I gotcha.
Oh
I'm
no!
like, oh,
That's an
Jesus.
interesting take.
Yeah,
That's
apparently,
an interesting
apparently
take.
you're just like you're edging the entire show.
Exactly,
Okay.
right? No, but ironically, like 22-year-old kids like to watch me stream. They say I'm cool mom vibes. Like,
yes, cool mom
which is
vibes.
really cool because I have a 27-year-old son and a 22-year-old daughter. So I'm like, how old are you? I'm like, you have to be 18. I'm not going to play a game with you if you're not 18 to protect me and protect you. But they're like, you're like the cool mom, and I'm like, I am here for that. I will be your internet mom if you need a mom. You know what I mean? Like 100%. So yes. Anyway,
You're like, oh,
And I'm
honey,
the vodka
Michelle,
auntie.
honey,
you're the
Michelle,
vodka
let
auntie.
me
Let's
wrap
do
you
it.
up. Here, let me pat you up. There
Well,
you
you guys, I've got to go, but I love you all, and I will
Bye,
see.
Jansen. Have a great week.
I thank you too,
Bye,
guys.
Jansen. See you next week.
Yep.
He's so cool.
All right, I just changed her name to Mommy.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Cool mom.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. We are The Way of the Leaf. We do 2 shows a week. One on Tuesday. It's a first-time reader show. We are not doing one this week because we just finished The Path of Daggers. So we
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
a big
so we're hitting book
milestone.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Great
Great.
book. One of my
That's
top
great.
3.
Oh, our first-time reader did not like it.
Yeah.
So,
That's what's great about the series. Everybody, there's something.
Everybody
there
has
for
a
everyone to
favorite,
love.
right?
right.
Exactly.
Right.
sure.
So we're jumping into book 9, starting Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We also do this Tavern Talk every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and this is where we talk all tangents and theories fly, like pigeons when you run through pigeons.
Happy
There's
Thanksgiving week,
Feathers
everybody.
and
by
poop
the way.
everywhere.
Feathers and
Yes.
poop.
Yes,
Feathers
we will
and
not
poop.
see you until after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So
Happy
please
Thanksgiving.
gorge on your family, put food on
Yeah.
your family, eat your family.
No, don't eat your family. Don't eat your family. Don't do that. That's
Indigestion.
bad advice.
Just-
Don't do that.
Just
Not
grab
worth it.
their forearm and just start gnawing
Nope.
like a
Nope.
Cob and corn.
Don't listen to him. Nope.
No, it's not Hinderstap.
Hey, all you slobs, stop eating like Cookie Monster. Get that food in your mouth and swallow it. Everyone,
Hey,
this has been this
Ryan, do
Tavern
you know
Talk.
that humans have a wishbone? If you did,
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't interrupt me when I'm ending the show. You do it every time.
Right, that's a good one.
All right, so yeah, Rain with the best comment. I'm glad you stayed too. We hope to see you in further shows. Don't be a stranger.
Rain.
Join our Discord.
Let's go, Rain. Let's go.
We have fun. All right, everyone. Run for your lives. This is The Way of the Leaf.
Bye.